Ah, an elephant. Really enjoyed the fact that there's been quite a few elephants around lately. And this is a very big bull, if I have it right. It looks like it should be him. We saw a couple of days ago. We'll try and get a bit of a sunrise silhouette behind him. We'll go around, get closer to him. He was in full must the other day when we saw him 2 days ago. I presume he still would be. Morning all stations, one Asmakulu and Law on the northern end of Zoe's Road, close to Voice Access. Such an amazing elephant. This, really enjoyed seeing him. This is our third time now over the last few days. And both physically as well as his tusks. Really is an impressive elephant. And just purely in his weight compared to that bull we saw yesterday, it was probably about 4.5 tons or so. So this guy almost certainly over 6 tons, 6.5 tons maybe. A whole 4,000 odd pounds heavier than the bull from yesterday. Which also means that his weight, his kind of digestive system, things like rhino elephant digest about 5% of their body weight. So it means this guy's eating about 300 kilograms of vegetation a day, 650, 660 pounds. All of those are just sort of interesting numbers about him. Just looking at him is what makes him so amazing. Just look at that. What's also interesting is that we saw him 2 days ago. He was in full must condition that elephant bulls go into sort of annually, depending on the age and size, how long they go into that condition for. But as I explained at the time, it's basically just a very heightening of testosterone levels in the animal. It makes him more attractive, if you want, to females, and also gives him a dominant status in the bull herd or within the bull society. Now it's interesting is that he's not in full must now. No, most likely that is that he's at the end of his must cycle, maybe sort of starting to get out of it, which would explain why he's out this way. There's not that many breeding herds this way. You'd expect a bull like this to be following and looking for females if he was still in full must. So maybe it's just come to the end of that, and that's why he's sort of in and out of it almost, if it makes sense. Oh, he is just amazing, just the way he moves. Just look at the sway of his head. Difficult to say exactly, but probably just his head alone with those tusks on them would weigh about a ton, 1,000 kilograms or so. And then of course also a stunning morning out here. Still have that sort of different layers of cloud. The sun just beaming through. Very sort of soft pastel background. Get a little bit closer to him again. He's going to be snap that branch off. Oh, that's a branch that 2 or 3 people could hang on easily, and so he just had to nudge it with his tusk a little bit, and off it went. enjoying it, Rob?
Yeah, that's good.
Just gonna go around, get to his other side. Quite often, old bulls like this can be normally, well, not normally, but quite often be very relaxed. The fact that he's been around for so long, nothing literally probably scares this guy anymore. As long as there's no humans threatening them, there's nothing else that can do anything to a bull this size. So they're normally quite placid, normally relaxed. Morning guys, just in case I didn't copy earlier, Charles was a few. There's Mokulu and Love here on the northern end of Zoe's Road, just about 80 meters into the east on that sort of first part of the open area. It's difficult to always really appreciate the size and the scale of this animal. Even sitting here where we are, we're only about 10-12 meters away. But to give you an idea, if I had to walk up to him and stand in front of him, yeah, I'm for pulling wherever you want, smoothly relaxes, my daughter. I'd be able to probably reach the reach those two tips of the tusks, but I'd have to spread my arms out quite wide. And those tusks at the moment, even with their curve lower down to the ground, would be about 1.6, 1.7 meters off the ground, about shoulder height. Quite often, just because these guys are so bulky, you don't quite realize how big they are until they get really, really close. And he would weigh about 3 times the weight of this car we're in. Go a little bit forward. Charles then from Boyatella also here to appreciate this majestic animal. It's also nice to see that he's eating almost everything he's broken off there. Quite often mention that the giraffe, one of those animals with a very specific or a very easy to understand niche. And the only thing that really competes with them a little bit is our elephant, and you can see how they don't just reach for the leaves, they just take the branch and bring it down. Much easier to eat on the ground.